What's up, all day fam? Here for the Sunday Super Bowl recap. Man, that was a crazy game. That game was surprising. Actually, it wasn't too surprising to me. I wasn't really surprised by how the Eagles were playing, because that's how they've been playing all year. I was surprised by who they did that to. I was surprised by the Chiefs being dominated throughout the entire game in all phases of the game. You know, Patrick Mahomes, he tried to make some noise happen, but it was pretty much all garbage time stats. I've never seen Patrick Mahomes play that bad. This was his worst game of his entire career. I mean, Cooper DeJean, Josh Sweat, and the Philadelphia Eagles for defense, they dominated Mahomes Kelsey and the Chiefs as a whole. They denied them to getting this three-peat. It wasn't even close, this game. I mean, the score said 40-22. That's a blowout right there, but the game wasn't even that close. To be honest with you, in reality, like, if you watch the game, 40-0. You know, those 22 points was garbage time stats. DeJean, he got a pick six on his 22nd birthday. Wow, interesting. Sweat, he was in Mahomes' face all game. The Eagles, they rounded the Chiefs 40-22 Sunday to secure their franchise's second Super Bowl championship. The Philadelphia Eagles, they got their second Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for a score on a tush push to earn Super Bowl MVP honors. So Jalen Hurts, he got the Super Bowl MVP, well deserved. Vic Fangio's defense was so dominant that the Eagles didn't need much from Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was a no factor this game, and they didn't need him at all. Like, that's one of the most wonderful things I think of this game is that the Eagles did not need Saquon Barkley to win this game, to dominate this game. And I said in my last video, or the video before my last one I did by myself prior to my brothers, I said that if the Eagles was going to win this game, they was going to need Saquon Barkley to. They was going to need it to be on the legs of Saquon Barkley, and they was going to need to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, and they did either, and they dominated. And why did they dominate? The real reason why the Philadelphia Eagles dominated this game, because they played old-fashioned football. And what was old-fashioned football? I mean, really, it's not even old-fashioned football. It's pretty much like how every team will win championships. It's not just defense. It's not just a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's not just a Hall of Fame head coach. It's in the trenches. The trenches is overlooked by a lot of people. A lot of people don't understand and don't recognize how important the trenches are. I said this in my earlier videos, and I was talking about the Chargers, and I was making the case of why Jim Harbaugh, why he skipped, you know, those wide receivers, and he wanted to get, why he skipped Roland Doomsday, and he wanted to go ahead and get, you know, Joe Alt, and I think he skipped Brock Bowers, and he went on to get Joe Alt, because Jim Harbaugh knows that you dominate in the trenches. How the Philadelphia Eagles played tonight, that's how Jim Harbaugh wants the Chargers to be. Jim Harbaugh wants the Chargers to be dominant up front. He wants them to have a dominant offensive line and a dominant defensive line. You know, that's really where Jim Harbaugh is going to start molding and building the Chargers from interior out. Because if you can win in the trenches, man, you can win any game. Any game, anytime, anywhere. Not only win, you can dominate. And that's exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles did to Patrick Mahomes. So I can't really say I'm too surprised, because I know how dominant the Eagles front is. I know how dominant their defensive line is. How, you know, Sweat, Jalen Carter, you know, those guys up front, and then, you know, Lane Johnson and all those guys, man. I know how dominant their line is. But I was just so surprised that I was against the Chiefs, because how the Chiefs play football, you know. But hey, you know, the Eagles, they exposed their weakness, and the Chiefs' weakness is their offensive line. The Chiefs was getting away with it all year because Patrick Mahomes is such a crafty, phenomenal quarterback who knows how to read defenses, who knows how to escape pressure, but not this game. And I will say this, I was telling my brother, I was like, yo, the Chiefs are not playing their game. They're not playing how they usually play football. I don't understand why the Chiefs kept trying to throw the ball a lot with Mahomes. I didn't understand that. Even when the game was close, when it was 7-0 or when it was 14-0 or whatever, the game was still close. but they wanted to keep throwing. And I was saying to myself, I was like, oh my God, this is going to end up being like the Chargers against the Texans, the Vikings against the Rams, the Vikings against the Lions. This game is going to end up being like that if they don't change their game plan on stop trying to win on Mahomes' arm. You don't have to prove anything. You have been winning your last 2 Super Bowls by running the ball first, by being a running first team. So I don't know what was going on. I don't understand why they decided to win to change it up and try to win on by Mahomes passing the ball, especially if the game is close. I sat there and I looked at it and I told my brother, I was like, bro, if they don't start running the ball with Pacheco and Hunt consistently, I don't care if they're getting stopped in the backfield. If they don't start running the ball, just keeping this game close, running the clock down, pounding the defense, beating the defense down. If they don't start doing that, they're going to get blown out. And they never did it. They came out in the second half. They ran the ball hard with Pacheco. Pacheco, he was lighting he was getting the defense, he was getting the offense up. Pacheco pumped up, snapping off that one carry. Right after that, they killed his momentum, even though he did get stopped right in the backfield. But it doesn't matter. It's the attitude. It's the aggression. It's the momentum. It's that is what your offense needs. And what did they do? They do a good quick pass with Xavier Worthy. They got a first down for that. That was a good pass. And then right after that, they try to have their receivers run down the field and Mahomes sitting in the pocket. No, bro. Andy Reid is too great of a coach. I don't know. I don't understand what was going on. You see how dominant the line is. Mahomes doesn't have time to sit in the pocket and wait for receivers to run routes. If you're going to pass the ball, you need to be quick passes. You need or dump to your running back. They probably was even dumping passes to their running back. If you're going to pass it, it needs to be quick, fast, hurry. Just like that. The offensive line, they were not being able to hold up at all. Mahomes couldn't step up in the pocket or anything. So I don't understand why they kept trying to pass the ball down the field like that. That's why they lost the game. That's why they got blown out. I don't get it, man. I don't know. I honestly, it was like the Chiefs played to try to lose this game because they did not play how they usually play. I don't understand. And this is why they got blown out. You have Pacheco, you have Hunt. Like I was saying, like when the Chargers, when they got blown out by the Texans, I sat there and I watched. They kept trying to win the game with Justin Herbert's arm. Granted, the Chargers don't have any good running backs. So J.K. Dobbins, he's a good running back, but I don't think he's not the answer. J.K. Dobbins, I hope the Chargers get another running back that can feature with J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins could be the second down back or something like that, but I don't think J.K. Dobbins is suited enough to be a first string back. And then with the Vikings, you have Aaron Jones and you have Cam Akers. Same thing. Like you're trying to win on the arm of Sam Darnold. Run the freaking ball. I mean, I don't get it. Like when the game is close, keep running it, keep pounding it. Because if you don't, you're going because you're not being because like you're getting your opportunities. The offense is not scoring yet on the opposite side of the ball. So the game is still close, but you keep trying to pass, and then you're going to be trying to get an interception, and then you're going to keep going 3 and outs, and then the other team, your defense is not really stopping the other team's offense, so they're going to go ahead and score again, and then they go score again, and then now you have to pass to try to catch up, and the passing game wasn't working for you in the very beginning. Now you have to do something that wasn't working for you in the very beginning, and the game ends up being a blowout. That was the result with the Chargers, Vikings twice, and now the Eagles. I sat there and I knew it. I was like, bro, if they do not try to keep this game close by running the ball and trying to keep the Eagles' offense off the field or playing heavy defense, because the lack of the offense productivity is going to seep into the defense playing well. Playing how they're going to play. It's going to affect them. I knew the game was going to end up being a blowout. I kept saying, though, that, hey, the Chiefs is going to come back because I have all the faith in the road Andy Reid. And I had all the faith in the road with Patrick Mahomes, even though I say Patrick Mahomes is overrated. We're going to get into that. But I still was just like, they're going to win. They're going to come back. And they never did because they never changed up their game plan. They came to the second half and they played the exact same game they were playing in the very first half. And I've never seen Andy Reid coach like that. Andy Reid is probably the greatest coach ever to adapt, to change his strategy in halftime if he needs to. You if you don't know that, you don't watch football. You don't understand football. You're not you don't you know what I'm saying, you never watch Andy Reid coach games. He is the best at doing that, at adjustments. The best. And he didn't do it in second half. He didn't do it at all. And I don't know why. I was telling my brother, I was like, bro, it's almost like somebody paid Mahomes to throw this game away. You know? I mean, I've never seen Mahomes play this bad before in my entire life. And I want to say something about that, you know, like I'm saying, like it's like someone almost paid Mahomes to throw this game away. You know, I think it's time out for you guys to shut up about the game being fixed. You know, I hope you guys are all feeling really stupid now by saying the game is fixed because the Chiefs didn't three-peat. You guys are all saying that the referees is cheating for the Chiefs and the game is fixed for the Chiefs to keep repeating. If the game was so fixed, why all of a sudden did the NFL just pick the Chiefs to be successful, the best dynasty in their recent memory, out of a hat? Why the Chiefs? If that was the case, it would be the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys is the most profitable sports team in the entire world. They are America's team. Why not the Dallas Cowboys? Why the Chiefs? So it's like, you know, just shut up with the freaking. After this game, you guys need to shut up about the game being fixed, about the Chiefs cheating, about the referees, you know, throwing penalties and flags in the favor of the Chiefs, and also, please, may you please shut up about Patrick Mahomes being the GOAT. Stop. I've been telling you guys for the absolute longest, even though I picked the Chiefs to win this game, and I was telling you guys that Patrick Mahomes is a great situation, a quarterback, yada, yada, yada. But I've also been telling you guys for the absolute longest that he's overrated. You guys overrate this quarterback. He's not on Brady's level, and I don't think he ever will be on Brady's. I'm not going to say I don't think. He never will be on Brady's level, ever. He's not as intelligent as Brady and Manning. He's not. He is a phenomenal quarterback. He is a great quarterback. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yes, he is. And maybe he more than likely is a top 5 of all time. But he's not better than Montana. He's not better than Manning. And he's not better than Brady. So stop with it. Stop. I honestly don't even think he's better than Justin Herbert. I honestly don't think that. Like, Justin Herbert has dealt with some serious coaching issues and has dealt with a very dysfunctional organization and team his entire career, but he still managed to produce. There's nothing that I think that Patrick Mahomes can do that Justin Herbert can't do. If Justin Herbert was on the Chiefs, they would have been winning just as many Super Bowls as Patrick Mahomes had them win Super Bowls. Just as much. Justin Herbert got Jim Harbaugh now. You guys are going to see what I'm talking about. Just like how y'all saw what I said came to fruition about me telling you guys Patrick Mahomes is overrated. Now look, he played the second. He played in the Super Bowl game. He's played another great defense, and he gets blown out. He got blown out by the Bucks. He got blown out by the Eagles. The Eagles took a page out of the Bucks page. So you guys are going to see what I'm talking about, man. You guys are going to see what I'm talking about. Like, again, like, I mean, I like Mahomes. I love seeing him play. I think he's a wonderful quarterback, but he's, you know, we gotta stop with this overrating. We want to say this quarterback is the GOAT and this and that, and he hasn't been. His longevity hasn't even kicked in yet. Like, we don't even know if Mahomes is going to be able to do this for the next 10 years. Brady was consistently great for 20 years. Brady got better year in, year out. He got better. He didn't digress. He got better. When Brady retired, he retired in a great way, in a great fashion. Mahomes doesn't look like he's getting better. We just gotta be patient and let things play out. We really do. And we gotta stop seeing things on face value. We gotta look deeper into what the situation is. We have to. Let's see here. The game-changing running back finished with 57 yards, breaking Saquon Barkley. He finished with 57 yards. So he did break Terrell Davis's record for yards rushing in a season, playoffs included. Okay, so Saquon Barkley did break the record. That's dope. So Hurts, he threw for 221 yards. And so this is the ultimate team game. You can't be great without the greatness of others. Great performance by everybody. Offense, defense, special teams. That's what Coach Nick Sirianni said. We didn't really ever care what anyone thought about how we won or their opinions. All we want to do is win. Said by Nick Sirianni. Donald Trump, he became the first president in office to win a Super Bowl, which I think is dope. You know, as it just shows like how much of a fan Donald Trump is of football. Let's see, the Eagles. Yeah, we already know that. Let's see here. Is there anything else I want to say? Let's see here. Anything else I want to go over? Maybe Taylor Swift. Yeah, whatever about Taylor Swift. Let's see. Mahomes was 8-0 against Fangio's defense before the longtime coordinator and former Broncos head coach outcoached Andy Reid. He definitely did get in. Andy Reid got outcoached. I never would have thought I would have said that, but he got outcoached. Capping his first season with his hometown team, Reid fell to 3-3 in Super Bowls, including a loss with the Eagles. So Andy Reid is 3-3 right now, surprisingly. The Eagles sacked Mahomes 6 times, the most of his career, including 2.5 by Sweat. And they did it without Fangio calling a single blitz. That's another thing. That's one thing I want to talk about. Like, they did not even call a blitz, and they destroyed Mahomes. They sacked Mahomes 6 times. That's dangerous. That is an elite defensive line. That is an elite defense when you don't have to call a freaking blitz. Defense wins championships, Hurts said. We saw how they played today. We saw the difference they made in the game. They gave us opportunities, gave us short fields, and we're able to do what we do. Yeah. That defense was so dominant. They gave Hurts and the Eagles short field advantage throughout the game. Barkley, the 2024 AP NFL Offensive Player of the Year, only had 31 rushing yards in the first half when Philly built a 24-0 lead. The Chiefs were aiming to become the third team in NFL history to win 3 straight championships and the first to three-peat in the Super Bowl era. And that didn't happen. Hurts nearly led the Eagles to victory against the Chiefs 2 years ago in Arizona, but Mahomes let it come back and Harrison Butker kick the game-winning field goal in the final minute for a 38-35 victory. Mahomes rallied Kansas City to an overtime victory over San Francisco last year for the Chiefs' second straight title. So that's a great football team, and we had to come out and play our best, and we did, Sirianni said. The Philadelphia Eagles, they revamped. Their defense picked up 8 new starters from the 2022 team and made sure Mahomes had no chance to pull off his magic. Andy Reid said, "Today was a rough day all around. Nothing went right. I didn't coach well. Proud of our guys for fighting. We will learn from this. Too many turnovers, too many penalties against a good football team. Can't do that," Andy Reid said. Let's see here. Okay. There's nothing else I want to talk about in this. Okay. So, let's see here. Wait, the Green Bay Packers are the only NFL team to win 3 championships in a row, doing it from 1929 to 1931 and 1965 to 1967. Okay. So that's still... Xavier Worthy had a pretty solid game, though. He had a pretty good game. That's probably I like to see what Xavier Worthy got 2 touchdowns and came out on top. He came on big in the big game. So I think that's something the Chiefs can definitely look forward to. I think the Chiefs needs to get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, and I think DeAndre Hopkins needs to go ahead and retire. You know, he was pathetic this game. He had some drop passes. He's been a no-show the entire season, like since they traded for him. I mean, he was supposed to come up big in these moments, and he didn't at all. He hasn't came up big at all for the Chiefs. He's done. I think DeAndre Hopkins was a wonderful player when he was playing in Texas. I mean, when he was playing for the Texans. Really, to be honest with you, since he left the Texans, I don't think he's been he's been a factor at all. Period. I'm happy that the Chargers did not get him. I wanted the Chargers to get him, and I'm happy that they didn't because he's not it. I mean, he's not who he used to be anymore. So I think he needs to go ahead and just retire because he's dead. He was dead weight for the Chiefs, to be honest with you. Yep, Zach Bond, he did an excellent job for the Eagles, the All-Pro linebacker. They need to re-sign him. A.J. Brown, he had a pretty good, solid game, very good game. He was disrupting McDuffie. McDuffie had his hands tied with A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith, he had a pretty solid game. He connected for a 46-yard touchdown pass. That gave the Eagles the 34-0 lead late in the third quarter. So yeah, that's it, man. I mean, it's very surprising that I'm not surprised. Like I said, I'm not surprised how the Eagles won. I'm not surprised that they dominated this game, but at the same time, I am because the Chiefs never been dominated like this before. But the Chiefs they're going to bounce back from this. They're going to bounce back from this. I know they are, and I know they're not going to stop doing what they're doing. But I will say this: they're not going back to the Super Bowl anymore. Not the Chargers has anything to say about that. So it's time for the Chargers to take lead of the AFC West, and it's time for the Chargers to go ahead and shoot for that 3-peat. And they're going to continue to keep in the Super Bowl. It's time for the Chargers to build that dynasty. Because I think Justin Herbert is actually a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. And I think Jim Harbaugh, he is going to be able to do the exact same thing for the Chargers of what Andy Reid done for the Chiefs. And I believe in Joe Ortiz. I believe that entire organization is going to change up. I have all the faith in the world in my quarterback and in Jim Harbaugh. I certainly do. Justin Herbert is an incredibly talented quarterback, and Jim Harbaugh he is an expert in being able to get every single last bit out of a player. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this year coming up. Teams are already getting better. Players are asking for trades, or some players are getting released. So the draft is coming up. This draft is not really all that exciting. It's not really a lot of players in this draft. But I do think that there's a lot of good running backs and tight ends in this draft. I think it's a running back and tight end draft. It's not a wide receiver or quarterback draft or anything like that. But I think there's some sleepers in this draft. But yeah. So what did y'all think about this game, man? What did y'all think about the Kendrick Lamar performance? It was whatever. I didn't really too much care about it. I thought it was cool. I think Kendrick Lamar is a cool rapper. I don't really listen to Kendrick Lamar, but I respect him. I respect his art. I think he's very artistic. I think he's very brilliant in what he does, but I don't think he's really good at performing. I don't think the performance was all that. Not to knock Kendrick. I mean, some artists are just really good at just being in the lab and just making music and not being good at performing. Like Chris Brown. I don't think Chris Brown makes good music at all. I don't listen to Chris Brown either. I don't think Chris Brown is even talented. I think he's talented as like a dancer, but outside of singing and making music, I've never been impressed with Chris Brown's music. Never been impressed with how he can sing, but he can dance and he can perform. He's a great performer, So I think he probably, if he goes to the Super Bowl, he will probably put on a really great show because he knows how to perform. Just like Beyonce. I mean, Beyonce can't sing, but she can perform. So I don't know. It's just, I think it's different. I think it's some of these artists, they have what they're good at, what they're not bad at, just like everybody in every profession. But yeah, maybe Kendrick Lamar should just stick with just making music and not perform. That's just my opinion. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, do you guys think that the Chiefs will come back, will make a return to the Super Bowl? Do you guys think that a team in the AFC West is going to build that dynasty and start making runs to the Super Bowl like the Chiefs did? Do you guys think the Chiefs' time is up? Tell me who your guys' favorite team is, and how do you feel about your team, what they're going to do in this upcoming season? Who do you guys want to see your team pick in the free agency or draft? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know about your thoughts of this game. Do you think this game was a waste of your time? You know, it was a blowout game. It wasn't competitive at all. I really wish the Super Bowls couldn't be. I really wish Super Bowls wouldn't end up like this. I really do. But I keep telling you guys, man, like Super Bowl. Football is so unpredictable, especially the NFL. It's any given Sunday. Anything can happen. You know, really, it's about the team that executes their game plan the best, man. That's really going to come on top. You know, both of these teams, they prepare. They stress certain things, you know, but sometimes it could just not be enough because the other team could just be more prepared than you, or the other team could just execute their game plan better than you. It's the NFL, man. Any team can lose. So I don't think the Chiefs is going to be back, at least not for a while, because teams are starting to get better. The AFC West is getting better. The Chiefs are not just going to be able to just sweep through the AFC West like they've been doing. You know, and you guys are going to see what I mean by Patrick Mahomes being overrated. So let's just kill the GOAT debate. Let's just do that, you know. Yeah, and I think I went over talking about how the Chiefs should have been running the ball. I think I talked about that with Kareem Hunt and Pacheco. I talked about that. So, yeah, that's all I have, I think. That's all I have. And you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. You know, give me your thoughts, and we can keep this chat rolling. Peace all day. We'll be back soon.